Hey, this bitch on?
Rolex, cut it up. Rolex, buttercup.
It's time for the hottest radio show and podcast.
I just looked at my wrist, I got time today.
With DJ Preme. It's time for SHEF Radio. Yes, sir. Welcome to Started Here in for our podcast, man. You already know it's your hostess, flyer than most. DJ Preme is in the building. I got my next guest in the building. What do I always say? The next guest might be the best guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, big dog.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man Q, live on the air. Same name on all social media fields. Q, live on the air. The man of many hats, many different titles, everything. You're going to find that out during the rest of the interview.
For sure, man. So what do you actually do?
Oh, man, that's always one of those questions that's never just a simple answer. So I'm also a DJ. I do DJ weddings and everything on every weekend. Okay. This was a free weekend that I actually got, so that's why I'm glad to finally be here and not working a wedding or anything like that. I'm a radio personality on Sundays. Got my own show on from 5 to 7, as well as working with the Texans. When I leave from here, I got a Texans event.
Okay.
And what else? And then I substitute teach Monday through Friday.
Oh, okay, yeah, you do it all, my guy.
I try to, man.
You do it all. Let's we're gonna start off with the DJing, but first, man, how did you even hear about SHEF Radio?
Oh man, that's a great question. So the podcast thing was something that I used to do at a particular time, and so it's something that I'm still trying to get into. But when I get back into it, I want to be more so with the visuals. Yeah, it's called, because I know the audio can't really keep people's attention and everything. Right. So I definitely want to get into the visuals aspect, and so I do a lot of research and time, like in the wee hours of the night, that's when most creatives are awake and everything. So in searching for black podcasts or searching for Houston podcasts, that's how I stumbled upon yours. And then ever since then, I've been like a fan. I've just been watching. I was like, okay, let me see like exactly somebody that's in this field and everything, that's doing exactly what it is I'm trying to do, how they went about doing it and everything. And so I went from the very first video and watched every single video until just to see. I'm like, okay, I see the progression and everything. Yeah. I'm like, let me see what the start could be and everything. I definitely want the grass wall, the neon light and everything. I was like, okay, I see we got the same mic. All right. My man's using the Zoom. Okay, what else I need? I was like, I'm like scoping out everything. What else I need? I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. No, I like that, man. It's funny because I'm approaching a year. September 8th will be the first interview I did with Tyler Samurai, and man, I'm gonna actually go back. I haven't watched it in a long time. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back on that day and I'm gonna rewatch the episode. I'm gonna be like, wow, this is crazy.
I'm trying to tell you get to see the progression in yourself and everything. Sure. You're like, boy, what was that? This is what I would do differently. This is what I can do better. Blah, blah, blah. Anything of that nature. Okay, we didn't change up the graphics in this way. Yep. Yeah. So definitely, that's dope.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate it, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man.
For sure, man. So you a DJ. How long you been DJing?
I've been DJing just about like 3 years now. I've always been an MC before I was a DJ. Okay. I was the guy that was always hyping up the party and everything, and I'm a real hip-hop head, man. I got it on the back of my shirt and everything. Like where I still believe in the days and still study and everything, where the MC's job was to hype up how dope the DJ was. You know what I'm saying? That's why Fresh Prince, I'm the rapper, he's the DJ. So that's what my job always was. Coming from Louisiana to Texas and everything, that's where I started MCing at when I was in college at Grambling. Okay. And moving back to Houston after graduating, I still kept up with the MCing. I still just stay up on my gigs now, MCing out in different places all around Houston and everything. So utilizing the voice, but then eventually you get some DJs that they try to keep both of those checks to themselves. They're like, I'm like, you need an MC? Sometimes I'll get somebody, they'll be like, yeah, man, I don't really talk too much. I only talk with my hands. So I'm like, I love those DJs. But then the ones that they know how to do exactly what I do, as well as, mix and scratch and everything. Yeah. So yeah. But I figured if I can do both, then I can be my own entity. So.
For sure. How long you been DJing?
Just 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah. MCing about 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you want to transition to be from the MC to be the person that's spinning the music?
Because I know what I want in regards to like I've studied people like Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh and everything like that, and then watch how they work with a crowd and everything.
Yeah.
I know what I want in regards to me being an MC, but sometimes the DJ, he can get tired of me turning down his mixer and everything. He'd be like, "Hey, my man, I got it. I'll be like, nah, you don't know the way I want it. So if I can do that myself and everything, just cut it and blah, 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 you know, I'm playing Kodak Black. I can be the DJ. Get him Black. Get him Black. I can do that myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do that at weddings now, and people are like, oh, this guy's killing it. See, if I can't have a DJ, I'll be like, oh, you ain't seen this video? I'll do it myself. Give it here.
I feel that. That's tough, man. That's tough. So what you started in 2020?
Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah. That COVID time, that's when everybody was picking up all kinds of different hobbies and everything.
Man.
Especially that's with the podcast. That's when I picked up with mine. Yeah. We was all stuck in the house and everything. I was telling somebody now, like, they still ask artists about verses. I was like, verses was a time with COVID when we was all locked down and everything, where you could keep our attention because we didn't have nothing else to do. But now, if you asked us to, you probably couldn't get us to sit down to watch Lil Wayne versus 50 Cent or anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we're all outside. Unless you show that video at a club or something, you couldn't get us to sit down and have that same amount of attention.
Facts, especially when the world really opened up, bro. People wanted to go outside.
Exactly.
Now, Houston never shut down. Unfortunately for me, I didn't know that because I moved out here in 2020. I actually moved out here in January of 2020, so 3 months before COVID. And man, so I came out here, realized the world had shut down, and I was like, we in the house, and didn't realize that Houston was not in the house.
Right.
We outside.
Okay. We didn't care. We got a crazy governor, man, Abbott. I just saw because I had to get my facts and stuff together for my show on Sunday. The news and latest news and everything that I'm about to report. Governor Abbott, whatever, he just incited another Texas law that we're about to get another strand, whatever. And he said, Texas, we ain't gonna be on lockdown. He said, no, we're not gonna be on lockdown. We're not gonna force us to take the vaccine. You're not gonna force us to wear the mask, and you're not gonna shut down any businesses. He was like, y'all can do that in all 49 other states, but Texas, we good over here.
You know what's so funny? Like I always knew it seemed like Texas really kind of want to be their own damn country.
Oh, yeah. We, at one point in time, we was, man. So, if they want to get back to it, I'm sure that they actually would. We got a nice little ignorance in ourselves and everything.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you got – and Texas low-key can because you got the importation, you know what I'm saying, from the coast and all that. I was like, bro, Texas really could break off and, just be its own entity.
Now, where'd you move here from?
Kansas City.
Okay. So you know that drive and everything. Because, anytime – do you still drive back home?
I don't drive back home no more. I've drove here. And I done did it a couple times, but I'm not doing it no more.
Got you. Yeah, me driving back home to Louisiana, it's like a 5-hour drive or maybe 6 hours depending on where I'm going. But most of that 3 or 4 hours, that's all Texas.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Once I get in Louisiana, I was like, oh, okay, we didn't hit this city. We got about 2 hours left. We good. Everything else we just did, that was all Texas by itself.
Yeah, man, for sure. Because Missouri, it's of course a cool state, it's a cool size state, but it's Oklahoma and then Texas, bro. Once you hit the Texas border, you kind of like yes, but then you like, damn, I ain't even in Dallas yet.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Like,
that's 4 hours from here too. I got people that don't know anything about Texas. They're like, I'm in Dallas. Like,
you're
you
not
should come
close
out
to
and,
me.
Right. You should come out and get something to eat. I was like, that's another 4-hour drive. That's another vacation.
Yeah.
I had to
People
plan
don't
that.
realize
That's
that,
not a
man.
jump skip.
For sure. Man, I had a couple sisters, man. They came out here. They came to Dallas, and they was like, yeah, we out here in Texas. I said, okay, what part? It was like Dallas. I was like, well, I won't be seeing you.
Exactly. Right. That's the same way with people that don't know anything about Louisiana. I'm in New Orleans. You should come out to eat. I'm like, this is another 5-hour drive.
It's not close. But if you're thinking like it's like a Kansas City to St. Louis or Kansas City to Columbia type of thing, I'm like, nah, it's not that close.
Oh, yeah, not at all, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro. But, man, you just said you do some work with the Texans.
Yeah.
What you do?
So, you know the big blue mascot that's walking around, Toro?
For sure.
I walk around with him everywhere he goes.
Really?
Or sometimes I'm him.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you get that gig? I don't want to.
No. It's all good. I was working with the Texans last year doing some other stuff. It was called like the Battle Red Texans team, and you are working nonstop from morning till night, just busting your butt. And working with the Texans. Let me think. I know I looked it up like on Indeed and LinkedIn, just like how I could work with a sports team and how that can go about and everything. And it's some particular website. And then I keep the email notifications on that lets me know about the different teams and what positions that they have. And then I'll just apply for just about anything that had a Texans logo up on it just to see what I can get. And so when I got the call back, and it was like, yeah, we want you and everything. So it started from that old position to me applying for this position this year. So working with Toro is something new this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. So do you walk around with them like to protect them or like you just,
yeah. It was crazy. I was the mascot at Grambling State University, so I had some experience in what a mascot requires.
Okay.
So the mascot, he don't have any peripheral vision, so sometimes he needs people. We got to keep him away from angry fans, drunk fans, or anything like that. Sometimes you never know if kids are gonna be scared of him. Be like, all right, so go ahead, step this way, or either kids that he can't see. Be like, hey, you got a kid on your right hand side that's looking for a hug. Oh, okay, bet.
Oh, okay,
like you got you. Be like, okay, cool. Be like, hey, it's some drunk people up here. They throwing cans. We're gonna move you around this way. Simple stuff like that. So yeah.
No, it's crazy too because I went to the first Texans game last year because I'm a Chiefs fan. And the Chiefs came, and
man, I saw your boy walking in. I saw the QB walking in. I was like, this boy got some height on him.
Patrick Mahomes. Yeah,
man. I was like, yo.
Yeah, he a lot bigger in person, man.
That's what I said. I was really surprised. I was like, you think of a young guy and everything, and be like, okay, you don't think much of him.
Yeah.
Saw him in person, was like, yo. I saw the tunnel walk in. I was just like, okay. Man, I saw him and Juju. And I miss Travis, but yeah.
Travis is a big dude too, man.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but nah. So, man, I was out there at the Texans game, bro, and I'm sitting and like I see the mascot, but then like I look away and then I look back and he's gone, and then he's like at a different section and like he's just moving. Exactly. So y'all move around like
absolutely.
The whole game, all the time. You're not standing still.
No, not at all. And then that's another thing too. Like part of my job is like letting him know, hey, they're looking for us. They about to put us on camera, just so when you see him on the big screen and everything, we had to be ready for it. You ready for your sign? All right, get loud, get louder, get loudest, stuff like that. Like, you ready? They filming you right now. Go. He be like, the camera's on me. Like, yeah. Turn that way. We gotta let him know stuff like that. Yeah.
So it's like a whole production that's really going on, but people don't of course know about.
Yeah. We walk around like CIA with them little walkie-talkies in our ear and everything. He got walkie-talkie up under his ear and everything too. But he goes above and beyond what a mascot is expected to do, or more than certainly what I did in college and everything. He comes down from the ceiling on some tight wire and everything. I'm like, yo. I was like, I need to see your paycheck. Before I say you couldn't pay me enough, I was like, you just might get paid that much.
Yeah, for sure.
The mascot for the Rockets, he was getting paid a nice little grip because he did it for years, just walking up and down the steps and everything. So I was like, boy. And he just retired, so yeah. It might be a nice little penny.
For sure. I would think that it is, man. I heard the Houston mascot. I think it was like top 2 in the NBA.
Exactly.
Paid. I was like,
you see what I'm saying?
That's so crazy. They was making more than WNBA players. I'm like, some of the NBA players.
See what I'm saying?
Right. Wow. That's wow. Hey, I might have to dabble into that,
see
man.
What I'm saying?
Hey, for that type of money, y'all walk around with a couple signs, throw a couple shirts, give out a couple hugs. For sure.
Right. You burning up and sweating and everything for a few hours, but when you look at that paycheck, it was all worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to me about the business side when it comes to working with the Texans, man. Like, as far as, I know you talked about the fun side. Talk to me about the production side, the business side of doing that job.
So everything starts hours and hours before ahead of time. So if a game is at 12 o'clock, best believe that everybody that was associated with the Texans, they were up at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they're working till the game ends. So if it's 12 o'clock game, it probably ends at 3. But we probably still won't leave the stadium till 6. So you done did a full 10, 12-hour day just standing on your feet, just moving around, walking an entire stadium and everything. And it's all different kinds of aspects that you see, the little small puzzle pieces to make it full production for people that they don't see when they watch it in person or either watch it from television and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, so that's definitely stuff I didn't think about. Like, again, working with the position that I did last year, we would set up fun stuff for the kids and everything just before the game as they were walking in and all that good stuff. And I never thought, I was like, why is this important or why is this an aspect? But it's just how people think about themselves as being fans and everything. Like I literally recently, all this week, I just binge watched Ballers. I didn't watch Ballers when it was on TV. I remember everybody talking about it. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, you got to watch it. It's good, it's good, it's good. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll check it out when it can. But they just put it up on Netflix. And I was like, let me finally see what this thing is talking about. And ever since I turned it on, never turned it off. I watched all 5 seasons in 3 days. And I was like, wow. Oh, man. I was like, this show is off? They don't do it no more? Oh, man, I see what I was missing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly how that was. Like, that was interesting to watch in the aspect of how you see things from different perspectives, from outside, from just being a fan and everything.
Yeah.
With Ballers, we got to see The Rock be an agent, and then he was a player. Eventually, he became one of the owners of the team. So I was like, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
And just how the politics of how all these different people think and everything. So, yeah, that's all that what goes into that as far as the production and everything.
Yeah, man. I watch I'm a huge Chiefs fan, bro. So any content they put out, I watch it.
Really?
So
okay, there you go. See?
I watched like they did like a production behind the scenes type of thing, and I was like, bro, it's a lot of stuff that really goes into this that like the average fan just doesn't know or doesn't see. And even they did like a whole almost documentary, almost like a mini documentary on how they just do the national anthem and the flyover, because the national anthem in KC, when you at the Chiefs Stadium, well, not even at the Chiefs Stadium, anytime they do it, when they say the home of the, we all say Chiefs, like that. So it's like a big thing. So it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what's going on. If they're saying the national anthem in KC, everybody's going to be like, the home of the Chiefs, just like that. So
that's crazy.
So they knowing that, knowing that's like a big culture thing up there.
Yeah.
They did a documentary on how like they do the pregame, like the setup for the national anthem, and then also the flyover, because they have the jets and stuff fly over the stadium, and like they have to time this perfectly and all this other stuff, because they have fireworks that go off, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like they talking to the pilots and stuff like that through their ear, talking about, okay, 15 seconds. Okay, home of the you gotta go. I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah. I think that everybody should definitely come up with more behind the scene videos, just so people can get an appreciation of like, oh. You know what I'm saying? Even you know what I'm saying? When you're doing this, let people know, like, this is, when you start charging, this is why I charge this. This is what all goes into this. You see these lights, this equipment, everything. This wasn't cheap, man. It's time, energy, and everything. You know what I'm saying? Just to let you know, this is a nice little recap just with me setting up.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I didn't know you did. Yeah. So just so you know, just so you can get an appreciation for it. You know?
Exactly.
Until people step themselves into your shoes and everything. Just like the service industry. You know, I used to be one of those people that didn't worry about people tipping people and everything, unless you made like a lasting impression on me where I knew your name and everything. I was like, okay, you earned your tip. You left because first impressions are big with me. First impressions as well as lasting impressions. You can make a good impression, a good first impression, but it may not be lasting. You can make a lasting impression, but it might not be good. So if you can make a good lasting impression, I'll be like, oh yeah, you good with me. But because I've been in the service industry now, knowing what they get paid, I'll be like, okay, yeah, this person needs their tips, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got to try to empathize with, we don't know what they dealt with. You know what I'm saying? They stand on their feet for 8 hours and everything, and you a customer that just came in, you number 120. So don't feel like you're number one and you were the start of the day. Like, you should have a bright smile on your face and all that good stuff and everything. So, yeah, until people can put themselves in other shoes again, I think we definitely got to make recap reels and all kinds of different stuff just for people to see how we set up, what's the outcome the income before the outcome. Yeah. And then now we can definitely get an appreciation of it. Like you said, the whole production thing, man, all that good stuff. If people saw that,
they were like, okay, I get it. I get it.
Man.
Right. I was like, They like I said, they did a little mini docuseries on it. I think it was like a 15, 20-minute video just on the national anthem alone. And I'm like, that's just one part, and that's not even the game.
Exactly.
Like,
right.
You know
exactly. That wasn't even the game.
That wasn't even the game. You know what I'm saying? The game is 3 hours itself.
Right.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
you gotta
Maybe
think
more.
about the game, and when stuff like that goes wrong, be like, oh God, somebody just broke their leg. All right, cut. You know what I'm saying? And they gotta send that to 1,000 different people. Hurry, so it doesn't show on this TV.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And then you gotta. I don't know how that works personally, but you got maybe like the Chiefs team also working with the NFL, or maybe they are part of the NFL or whatever. But I know like the NFL is, of course, like I guess the Chiefs are a part of the NFL, but like you got straight NFL workers, and then you got people that just work strictly for the Chiefs.
Right.
Even though the Chiefs are working for the NFL, I guess.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes into it, bro. I can definitely tell. And I definitely, after watching just that, I was like, yeah, I got a newfound appreciation for all this other stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So, yeah, man. Your name.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that?
Which one?
The
Q Live on the air. It went through a bunch of different names. So it landed on something. I had to figure out one of the things, like any radio personalities I ever saw, I always saw on air in their names. And so I was like, let me figure some way to incorporate this. But I was like, Q on air. I was like, I don't know, that sounds a little basic. So I said live on the air and everything. But it's gone from different names. My DJ and MC name is GQ. Okay. GQ, one, I'm always dressed up to a T and everything. Okay. But also I love the movie Juice. Omar Epps, he's played Quincy like in 3 different movies. A guy named Quincy in 3 different movies. And in the movie Juice, he said, well, my name is Quincy. Everybody calls me Q or GQ. And I was like, oh, that's dope. I remember him introducing himself to Queen Latifah too. I was like, yeah. I was like, that stuck with me. So yeah. Ever since then, I was like, okay, GQ is the MC name, DJ name, but then Q Live on the air. I was like, I didn't want to be GQ Live on the air. So either way, I had to make sure I didn't steal GQ's logo and get sued. So
Exactly. What made you want to be a radio personality?
Oh man, that is a great question. I've been listening to radio ever since I was a kid. Every time my mom would drop me off somewhere, she would always have her radio station on 102.1, which was Tom Joyner. So Tom Joyner, I've been listening to ever since I was a kid. Man. You know, up until the moment he retired, I was just like, that's exactly who I want to be like. In regards to how he went to an HBCU as well, but every morning he was always dedicating money and goods to students that went to HBCUs or just to HBCU institutions, or students that were going to go to HBCUs and everything. Like, he was giving out $1,000 a day, and I was like, this guy's amazing. Like, I know he's just getting all this money back, but this guy is amazing. But in the same sense, I looked up to people like Charlemagne as well.
Oh, man.
Him, how he's just that's what I'm saying. Either you hate him or you love him, and I'm definitely one of those love him. So I was like, I love the unfilteredness. I was like, I'm not going to shrivel up in front of the celebrities and everything just because they're celebrities, and I love that. I was like, I want to make celebrities cry too, or I want to have celebrities want to fight me and everything too. I was like, that lets them know, be like, yo, Charlemagne had Nelly want to fight him because he said, hey, man, they ain't been hiding here about like 20 years. And even though it was true, he felt some way about it, but I was like, he's letting you know from a fan's perspective. That's one thing I can always appreciate, because I'm a fan of different people, and I can let people know, like, yo, that wasn't it. Some people, it's certain people, celebrities that I don't talk about when it comes to my social media platform or on radio, because I know they're fans. They feel like they can do no wrong. These celebrities are Beyonce,
for sure,
Drake,
for sure,
Chris Brown. Do not touch them. Sometimes Nicki. Sometimes her Beehive.
The Barbs.
Yeah, the Barbs. Right. But I don't say anything negative about them, because these people will come for my neck. But with the Beehive, we've witnessed what they can do and everything. So before my career even gets up there and starts popping off, I was like, let me not do it. I was like, but all their fans, they feel like they can do no wrong. I was like, so it was nothing wrong with Chris Brown in that 45 song album. Nothing. I was like, that kept your full attention. I was like, I'm still trying to get a full listen to that. All right, but that's just me. And now that he said he's about to put out this album on 11/11 with 11 songs, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I was like,
for real.
And I feel Drake, he's making more quantity over quality, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, Drake know at this point in his career he can do whatever he wants. Just
literally,
he
that's what I'm saying. Like he putting out as opposed to this album cover that he let his son design, and the album cover before that with just a bunch of different pregnant memes. I was like, he don't care no more. He knows y'all gonna buy it. It's still gonna be hits up on it. It's regardless. I can do whatever it is.
Yep. like he said in the even in his earlier days in one of his songs, I can probably sell an album with a blank disc.
Yeah.
You can, buddy.
Exactly.
You can. You could just put an album out with just beats.
Exactly.
And it'll go.
Literally. Even his throwaways, care package, and all that good stuff. It's still good. I was like, these are throwaways. I was like, why girls love Beyonce and make an album? I was like, boy, Jodeci is back. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, for real, man. Nah, that's tough, man. I think Charlamagne for me because when I created Chef Radio, I was basically like a lot of women really, since I've been in the 8th grade, let me know that, oh my God, you have such a radio voice. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So I'm like, all right, whatever. And I just ignored it for a long time. And I was like, yeah, no, I want to be a roller coaster architect. That was my dream job.
He was playing like Tycoon and everything.
I actually had this game called Thrillville.
Okay,
it was on PlayStation 2, but you could build your own roller, bro. It's fucking amazing. So, but no, man, I was like, man, this is what I want to do. And then later it got in my, later I guess you could say it got in my life. I'm only 24, but I was like, yeah, actually I don't want to go to college. And I was like, but I ended up doing music anyway. And I was like, I don't want to go to college. And I was like, maybe I don't want to just go to college right now. But then I was like, math though? Because I'm like, you need a lot of math.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like,
what's crazy is if you want to do this, college isn't even necessary, dog. Because like we said, Charlamagne didn't step foot onto anybody's campus, and he's one of the most well-known radio personalities out right now. So that was one of the things that kept on discouraging me. I was like, man, I'd be in school and be like, oh my God, it's so hard, or it's so overwhelming. I was like, man, Charlamagne didn't even go to college. Facts. I'm trying to be in the same position. He didn't even go to nobody's campus.
Exactly. And I'm like, and I always was really, really good at science. So I was like, science is the science part. I know I got it down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I never had anything lower than, I got a B+ once in science, and I was pissed off at my teacher. Like, what the hell was wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Now, math was a different
exactly.
thing.
Yeah,
so I was like, I don't know if I'm be able to do this, especially when it got later on. I remember taking college prep my senior year, and I was like, yo, this is math. Where the numbers at, yo?
right,
this
exactly.
is symbols now.
Y
I'm like,
equals
yo,
MX plus B and everything.
I'm like, yo, where's the numbers at, man?
And
so
to never touch those formulas
ever in your life.
I tell 8th graders now, I was like, you see the math that y'all are doing right now, you're never going to use that. I was like, you remember addition and subtraction and division and multiplication? I was like, that was all you needed to know. Everything here from on out, it's just somebody just willing to test you.
Curriculum, yeah.
I was like, you're never going to touch that.
You're never going to. I've never used PEMDAS.
Took the money out my pocket and said, can you count this? That's all you need to
know. Facts. So I'm like, no. And, man, I was like, okay, so I'm going to do something with music. And then moved out here. Still didn't even think about doing Chef Radio. Didn't think about a podcast, nothing like that. And then I was working at Famous Footwear. And it's a part-time job. And I was like, okay, so this is, for some reason, man, these two ladies came in the same day. And one of them was like, I'm going to talk to them. And for some reason, I wasn't having a great day that day. I don't know what was going on. It just I guess I didn't just feel like going to work. So, they came up to me. They were like, hello. You find everything okay? And you're like, yeah. And then she goes, after I check her out and everything, she's like, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but you have such a radio voice. And I was like, yeah, I get that all the time. Like, yeah. So I was like, thank you, though. She was like, yeah. She was like, I'm going to be honest, it's like really sexy. And I was like, okay, you can go. Like, you can go. So she leaves. Another lady comes in a couple hours later. Black lady. Mm-hmm. She's a little older lady. And she comes up, checks her out. She goes, young man, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but you have such a radio voice. You need to do radio. I swear, that day, I quit.
Oh, wow.
I quit.
That was
and I
the
was
sign?
like, God has been telling me this for over 8 years.
That's what's up.
I was like, it's time.
Yeah.
So I was like, honestly, what I really ended up doing was I tried to get an internship at one of the radio stations out here, but I couldn't because I wasn't in school at the time. You had to be in school. Yeah. And I was like, and I'm actually in school now, but I was like, okay, that sucks. And then I was going to have to wait till August, and this was like April. And I was like, no, I want to do this now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, all right, how can I make my own radio show, but also make it a spin, because nobody really listens to radio anymore.
Yeah.
So it's how can I do that? And I was like, let's make it a podcast, but let's put your own spin on it. So I was already having a problem getting my own self, getting gigs out here, DJing. So I was like, let's DJ the music. Okay, cool, got that. And then let's just, I still have it. It's a segment called the Rap Snacks where it's just me talking. And I would talk for like 45 minutes to an hour. Then I would do a dessert mix. So it'd just be like a little slower R&B or just kind of catch a vibe type music. And then I end the show. And then one of my guys was like, bro, you should start doing interviews like the Breakfast Club. You watch the Breakfast Club all the time.
Same here.
So it was like
my favorite pastime.
Yeah, it was like, so start doing interviews with local artists. That's how you're gonna get more people to mess with your show, come on the show, get subscribers, all of that. And I'm like, okay, so I started it, and I was like, all right. So I really ended up getting everything that I needed: lights, camera, mics, all of that. And it took me about 2 months, man, to really get everything that I needed.
Really?
Yeah, because that was the most expensive thing.
Really? What, the sign or the grass wall?
No, the sign. Oh my God.
Yeah. I know, right? I've definitely gotten some quotes with some neon light signs, and I'm like, y'all asking a nice little penny.
Yeah,
man.
I was like, and what actually low key made me kind of mad about the sign is like, I love it. I love the sign.
Yeah.
And if y'all see it on camera, it don't look like how it look on camera. It's actually red. Like, it's a nice color.
Yeah.
So, I was looking. I didn't want to buy the sign online and then get it, and I hate it. And I'm like,
exactly.
Is there a place out here that creates signs? So there actually is. It's a place called Neon Gallery.
Okay.
It's a family-owned. It's a mom and pop shop. It's literally a wife and a husband. They own the place, and they've been making signs for like 30+ years.
Oh, dang, I gotta check them out.
So the only thing that I didn't like about it is sometimes when I turn it on, Chef will come on, but radio will be like,
okay.
Maybe I'll come on this time. And I'm like, hey, yo, for all this money I pay for this time, this mug better come on every single time. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I was like, and then also I knew that I wanted to do something to help other people out, because
that's dope.
That was something that I felt like nobody ever did for me back home. So I was like, yo, I want to do this for somebody, for other people. But knowing that it's a lot more people and a lot more opportunity here in Houston, I was like, bro, I could definitely do something like this. You know what I'm saying?
That was one thing that I was definitely going to ask and everything, how you went about starting it. So, yeah, I definitely appreciate that. And the fact that you even have a platform to give people this platform to utilize, just showing off different creatives in all kinds of ways and everything. That's dope and everything. And then you doing it for free and all this good stuff. I was like, yo, this is wild, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why in researching that, I was like, okay, like you just said, like, DM if you want to do a interview. And I was like, what's the catch? Or either he going to send me an invoice and be like, this is what it is. And honestly, that's the same platform that the radio station that I'm at does. They say, yeah, y'all can do interviews, but we got to charge them this. And I was like, that's weird. I was like, man, we going out to them and asking them, do y'all want to do interviews with us? And they be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I initiated the conversation.
If I ask you, like, and then people know, like, if I ask you, you're not paying.
That's what I'm saying. Right, exactly. So it'd be weird. I'd be like, oh, you do? All right, bet. So here's what it's going to cost. You'd be like, wait. But you asked me. So, yeah. So that's one thing that I thought was weird. And because, like, I have celebrity relationships with people and everything that I built over the years from working in radio. And if I go to them and be like, yo, this would be great, man. I got my own show on Sundays from 5 to 7. If you want to come on, it'd be a good look. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I got you. But it's gonna cost you this much. What? Q, did you hear what you said, dog? So the fact that you even utilize this platform to show people different creatives and everything in Houston, that's dope, man. It's something else that I do, like on Tuesdays at Mexican restaurant called El Pueblito.
Okay.
And they have like a open mic night that's made by the group Fresh Oranges. And then we have different local artists, and they come on and they perform and everything, and I'll help MC along with my girl Lakita Valon. And she'll be the host and everything, and so it'll give local artists the opportunity to go ahead and perform like a couple songs and just showcase themselves and everything. So that's another thing.
Kiati does that on Mondays.
Exactly. Yeah. And I saw you reached out to Kiati. Me and Kiati, we go way back and everything. So every now and then, he might not even remember me, but but yeah. I saw you walking around too. That was one of your dope videos of you just walking around interviewing the sneaker people and the artists and everything, and then ending it with Kiati. I was like, yeah, that was real dope. So again, in studying everything, I just took an appreciation of how everything started and all that good stuff. So
for sure, man. For sure.
Now, how long have you been DJing for?
6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
6 years.
Yeah.
How long have I been good? About 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. All right. That's why I was like, I've been DJing for about 3 years, but like by this 1 year, I've been killing it. Them 2 years, there was a little trial and error and everything. So and I do weddings of all different races of people. So sometimes I'll have to do stuff that different people will recommend or request. Like the worst wedding I've ever done, it was an African groom and a black bride. She wanted country, he wanted Afro beats. I was like, those two don't mix. Right. So I was playing too much country, the African side, they would get mad. I was playing too much African side, the countryside, they was getting mad. So nobody was pleased. What? I was like, I just gotta take this L, man. I was like, hopefully they don't write a bad review saying like, yeah, our DJ suck.
Man, and when because I do a lot of weddings too, man. I took this from this actual company I used to work for. They shut down. God is good. God is good is what I'm gonna say. So, anyway, what they used to do is they would have this long form for them to fill out and be like, hey, what do you want your processional song to be? What do you want this song to be? What do you want that song to be? And then also when it comes to your reception, you need to make a playlist about what songs. Either you can say a genre, but if you want specific songs played, you have to put this in a playlist. Or just have a playlist that you already have, make it, and then we would do Zoom calls with the bride and groom like a week before, be like, hey, just make sure we're on the same page with certain stuff, all of that stuff. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna take that, and I took it. And now I do it. When I do it, I'm like, I tell people like, hey, just in case, because your wedding is out in a ranch and there's no Wi-Fi and there's nothing I can do. So if you want a specific song, I have to have it downloaded beforehand because I'm not going to go to T-Mobile and put some hotspot on a tablet just for you.
Exactly.
Unless you're paying extra for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I work with a DJ company that basically does that same thing. They'll call up the people and I guess they'll write it down themselves and everything. And then we have like the must plays, like stuff that they definitely have to have, that you have to hear played at your wedding, and stuff that you definitely do not want played.
Yeah, that
and
too.
Things of that nature. Of course, getting the processional song, the bridesmaid song, the groomsman song, everything like that. So yeah, it's the exact same thing. It's not that company because this one's still up and running and everything. But it's the same concept. But anytime I do a really good job, or if I do a black wedding, they'll always ask, is this company black owned? I'll be like, no. They'll be like, and that's all that they'll give me. And I'll be like, I know. Because people will always ask me, they'd be like, so.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the name of the company?
DJ Connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you want to know what's crazy? They always kind of like, they reach out to me.
Oh, yeah. Indeed.
On Indeed.
Yeah.
On Indeed. Like, cause I think I applied for them one time, bro. And then they didn't reach. Yeah. And they didn't reach out to me. They didn't reach out to me for I think a year later.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, they just kind of was like, hey, we want to get you. And I'm like, well, because I think on Indeed it was like, we're looking for DJs that are not not professional, but like
right,
amateur or something like that.
No,
like,
well, you didn't have to have any experience because they
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But if you came in with some experience, then that was even better. Because me, when I DJ weddings and everything, I'm a hell of an MC. Like I knew that because I came in with the experience of it, and that's why I was like, okay, so my DJing skills is gonna be all right, but my MCing, I'm making you laugh and giggle and all that good stuff that you can overlook. Be like, oh, okay, yeah, he was all right, but he was funny though. He kept us entertained. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I work my shows. Now I'm a decent DJ and still a really good MC and everything, so it kind of balances out and everything.
Yeah, another reason why I ain't gonna lie that I was definitely before some things happened with that company, I was gonna leave anyway. I actually got one of the wedding coordinators. She sent me over something that she wasn't supposed to send me, and because I asked her, I was like, "Hey, do you have this?" And she was like, "Yeah." She sends me a screenshot of it, but the rest of the screenshot also told me how much these people were paying versus how much I was getting paid.
Oh yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
Oh no,
I know, right?
I was like, oh no,
right. That's why I told DJ Connection. I was like, it's probably better that I don't know. But my boss, he like explained like the little triangle of like all the different pieces of the pie of where people are getting paid and everything, and why we only get paid this much. Because people that know me personally, they'd be like, Hugh, I want to book you. Like, how do I book you? I'd be like, all right, so just call up DJ Connection and then request me. They'd be like, all right, bet. They'd be like, Hugh, man, why y'all charging this much? I was like, I didn't charge you anything. I was like, and then I was like, when it comes down to it, this is how much came back into my pocket. I was like, it was a nice little piece of change, but I was like, they was like, wait. I was like, I don't feel like explaining the pie that they had to explain to me to explain to you, but I was like, yeah.
And you know what's crazy? like I thought, because at the time I was getting paid like $150 an hour, and I was like, yeah, this is great.
Right.
It's just amazing.
Right.
And I'm doing like 7-8 hour weddings, and then I seen that, and I was like, because I'm doing a ceremony, cocktail, and reception.
Exactly.
So so I'm the sound guy for most of the day.
Literally.
And then they want lapel mics, you know what I'm saying, all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay, but I don't have a lapel mic. So I anytime I had that, I would have to go rent it from Guitar Center and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So when I seen that breakdown of how much they were paying versus how much I was getting paid, I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to up this.
Yeah.
Either we're gonna have to up this or I'm dipping.
Exactly. And then that's the crazy thing too. And then now, in us doing it, we have experience of what people should do, what they shouldn't do, and everything. One, definitely feed your vendors. Like we've been standing. I don't know why people assume that DJs don't like to sit. Why am I asking y'all for a chair? I was like, assume that I don't want to be standing for 12 hours.
Right. If it's the cocktail hour, bro, and y'all sitting and eating, bro, why do I? Number one, I'm not playing music super loud. I'm just playing instrumentals 9 times out of 10, or I'm playing low music. So I don't want to just stand there. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not DJing. I'm playing a song, let it run all the way to the end, switch the crossfader to the other side, and press play.
Literally. Or either let a playlist play, man.
Or let a playlist play.
I just put on some Sade and leave it.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Man, definitely feed your vendors, man.
For
Make sure that we have seats. It's always different things that now I can pick up on weddings where when I have my own, I know what not to be spending money on or what we can save on. One, cakes are not a big thing. People spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on cakes for them to come up to me later on during the night. Hey, DJ, reiterate to the people that they can get some cake.
And they never eat it.
Begging them.
Yeah.
Why am I begging your guests? I was like, you could have got a cake from Kroger's and these people would have treated it just the
same way.
They would have looked at it, took a picture of it, and then said, "Oh, that's cute."
It's cute
and
cake.
Kept it pushing. Now people are saving those cakes for a year, and then they eat them on the anniversary. But I'm like, even then, that still wasn't the $1,500,000 that you paid.
Facts, facts, man. Nah, for real. Then y'all got a cake cutting song and all this other stuff with that too. And it's like y'all do that, and y'all like the bride and the groom will eat the first piece, and then nobody eats anything else. And it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah, you spent all that money on this cake.
Exactly.
For nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
And I realize there's more and more stuff that actually takes away from the actual party part. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're paying for. A wedding ceremony literally at 10, 12 minutes max when it actually starts. From the moment that the bride walks in, 10, 12 minutes.
Dude, it's quick.
Literally.
It's quick.
That's why I be telling the bride and groom, you nervous? Yeah, man. I was like, you knock this out. The rest of the night we partying. Let's get it going. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to these drinks.
For real.
Let's get to it.
For real.
Like knock that out, man. You do. All right. You do. She do.
We good. We good. Let's go. Especially y'all people that want to hold y'all wedding in the middle of nowhere out in the field.
I don't know why.
In Houston.
Right. I don't know
it's
why.
137,000 degrees outside.
Don't care anything for the guests whatsoever. A wedding outside and still waiting on the bride. 30 minutes and it's 103 outside. You don't care anything for the people that you're inviting.
No.
I really want you to know that. You really don't care anything for them whatsoever. What else? It was something else. Not just the weather and everything, but dang, I can't even think about it.
I'll tell you, my equipment is at risk too.
That too.
For
right,
sure.
right. And then scope out your venues, man. Scope out your venues. I know you picked a venue that you really like, but if you know that you want a DJ, look to see if there's some plugs. Like we can't provide electricity. I'm not Zeus.
Thank you.
I'm not Zeus. I'd be like, yo, so they'd be like, okay, so here, we got you in this barn. Okay, you got me in a barn, which most don't usually have electricity. So where the plugs at? Oh, you don't have any? How does that work?
Yeah. and see, I'm even a thoughtful person, bro.
Right.
I have a Home Depot 100-foot long yard cable to use plus another extension cord. Now, if you telling me that you can't put me you ain't got nothing within 100 feet.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah. You didn't want a DJ that bad.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all, man. So yeah, this. I think, man, when it comes to taking care of the DJ, I just think that just goes back to respecting the DJ a lot more, because that happens in clubs, that happens at private events, corporate events, all of that sometimes, man. Like, I love my people that will pay me and then also take care of me. Exactly. Then tip me again at the end of the night. Like, that's amazing.
Because we are making or breaking somebody's day.
Absolutely.
Like if there was no music whatsoever, what would the day be? Absolutely. I understand you got your videographer, your photographers. Those are all essential parts. But if there's no music, there's no nothing.
Facts.
The event does not move. So definitely take care of your DJs, man. Make sure that we're fed. We're standing there with you for 10, 12 hours out the day. Don't assume
and we
that
can't
I already
leave.
Ate. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So simple
how would you
stuff
feel
like
if I
that.
got some Uber Eats? You'd probably be mad.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, I've gone to so many weddings where the food was banging. I've had particular weddings where they treated the guests like royalty. And then they'd be like, oh, we got a vendor meal for you. I'm like, the fact that they would call it a vendor meal, that lets you know whatever we eating on.
I ain't even heard about it.
Oh, man, let me tell you. What's called, they say whenever you hear that, that means that whatever they have is something completely different from what you're going to have. I had a wedding. It wasn't in Houston, but it was right outside of Houston. Real nice venue. The venue looked like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air house.
Yeah.
They fed everybody lobster and steak. Literally lobster and steak. They said, oh, we got your vendor meal in the next room. Jason's Deli. I said, you got everybody eating on here filet mignon and lobster tails. And I get Jason's Deli, this little cookie and this. I was like, and I know you feel like you did something because you fed the DJ, but you really didn't. You gave me some crumbs, dog.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I see somebody if I see a wedding like that and they eating steak and shrimp, lobster, filet mignon, all this other stuff, and I got an Uncrustable in the next room.
Literally.
I'm packing up. I'm leaving, bro. What?
It takes everything in me, too. It takes everything in me, too, not to do that because they feel like I should be grateful because we fed you. I'm like, technically. But had you fed me everything that they was eating, you would have had an even better night.
For sure.
All the requests, even unnecessary requests. I got you. Oh, yeah. You good. You good.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy, man. You ever had a wedding go wrong and it maybe not was your fault? I definitely had that.
I mean, we have things that do go wrong, but nothing in my particular case. If I've done anything, there were like subtle mistakes that I can always recover from. Or again, my personality and everything, I can make the bride and groom laugh to where they just kind of overlook it later on throughout the night and everything. Yeah. That was another thing. One of the rules that they taught us, they was like, just apologize for it real quick. Don't fester on it for the entire night. Be like, oh, God. Because by the end of the night, you might end up reminding the bride and groom, and they forgot all about it.
Yep.
I remember my very first one. I'm announcing the bridal party as they're coming out and everything. Joey and Sarah, blah, 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 blah. Now give it up for your best man and your maid of honor. And I skipped the maid of honor and the best man. They had a long pair, a bunch of pairs of people. And by the time I got to the best man and the maid of honor, who was right before the bride and groom, I just skipped over them and went to the bride and groom. I think I was over it by like pair number 8. I was like, all right. And I didn't even think about it. And then the bride and groom was like, did you mean to do that? I was like, no, I'm so sorry. It was like, no, it's all good. We thought it was funny. I was like, all right, bet, say less.
That's funny. Man, I'm going to be honest. Like, when it comes to that, I tell, like, when they ask, like, can you announce? I'm like, I don't think you want me to do that. I'm not good with names, okay?
Oh, yeah.
If it ain't a Sarah, a Joe, a Matt, a Jane, I'm sorry, because you be wanting the first and the last name.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I only give the first name, and then I'll write the pronunciation and everything. I'll be like, just to make sure. All right, bet. We're going to come in this order. All right, cool. Let's double check everything.
Because I was like, I'll be like, hey, I can make it a lot easier by saying, welcome your bridal party.
Oh, my gosh. I love the brides and the grooms that agree to that. Yeah, just say the bridesmaids. Perfect. Yeah. Just say the groomsmen. Perfect. All right, cool. The bridal party. Perfect. If I can keep it like that at every single wedding, that'd be amazing.
So much easier.
Oh, yeah. Every single person got to have their own individual song. That's a lot to keep up with. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that they actually come out. What they doing? They drinking back there, so they wasn't quite ready. It's a lot. Like, you don't have time to be babysitting. So that's why I be feeling for the videographer and the photographer. Like, as soon as the ceremony's over and they trying to deal with the wedding party that's multiple personalities of people, some of them are already drinking and everything, and they trying to get them in order. They trying not to stress out the bride and groom. Like, hey, could you get your people? They're
like, for real. No, I had a little. This is actually why I don't work with this company anymore. Well, and then they shut down after this, and I was like, God is good. But there was a problem, right? So I have a wireless mic and then I have a lapel mic. I don't usually use them both at the same time because they're on two different frequencies, on two different what's this called? Like the little box or whatever. Right. So, and if you have those together, what you're gonna get? A whole bunch of feedback, right? So I'm like, okay. So, I talked to the efficient, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna mic you up, whatever. You get the lapel mic, and they're like, hey. So the wedding planner comes up, she's like, hey, they want to use the wireless mic too. I'm like, you don't want to do that,
right?
So but I let her know. I was like, hey, you really don't want to do that because you're going to end up getting a lot of feedback. And she's like, okay, I'll go talk to so-and-so about it. So she comes back. She's like, they really, really want to use it. I'm like, I tell her, listen, I think her name really was like Nancy or something. I was like, Nancy, I'm going to tell you one more time. You really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You're going to ruin the ceremony.
Right.
I was like, I can have one or the other. I said, if they want to all hear, I was like, because this is what annoys me. They want the bride, the groom, and the officiant to be heard. If the officiant's heard and the bride and groom can hear themselves, why does the audience care?
It don't even matter.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what I can do is I can set up my wireless mic, put it on a mic stand, and I can move it back a little bit to where everybody will be heard.
Right.
She was like, well, they really want to use what? I was like, all right, you know what? I'll give it to you. I'm letting you know right now what's going to happen. So I want you to know.
Right.
Once this happened, you going to get all the blame. So as soon as I turn the wireless mic on.
Oh, man.
Everybody's whole audience looking back at me. I'm like, fuck y'all looking at? I told her what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it just made everything a nightmare. I was like, she was like, what's going on? What's going on? I was like, I told you exactly what was going to happen. I was like, now if you want me to fix this, I can turn one of them off. She's like, turn one of them off. Right. I was like, okay. Boom. Turn one off. Perfect.
Exactly.
She's like, well, I can't hear so-and-so. I told you, Nancy, what's going to happen if you want both of these mics on. So ceremony didn't go as planned.
Okay.
Right? So now we get to the cocktail hour past that. Reception. Actually, no. But right before the reception, everybody wanted to speak. It was some people wanted to take the mic and speak. That's fine. Now, I'm not where we are. We're outside, but I have so many people that are like in front of me blocking because the stage is in the middle, but everybody's like around. So I have people in front of me, but they want to take the mic to the stage. I'm like, it's not gonna work. Right. I have people in front of me that's blocking this receiver. It's not gonna. And then also where you're wanting to face, you want to have your back turned towards me. Not gonna work. So right. I let Nancy know. I'm like, hey, let them know if they want to speak. They're gonna have to get a little bit closer to me. And also face me. Right. So they were like, she was like, okay, I'll let everybody know. Let no one know. Nah. Every time somebody speak, cut out. And I was like, turn around. I'm like, turn around. They're looking at me. I'm like, yes, face me. Then they're like, oh, okay. And they start talking. They hear themselves. They're like, okay, great. And they turn right back around. And I'm like,
exactly,
dude. So anyway, long story short, the night. Besides the music, because I played amazing music, because I know what the fuck I'm doing. So the day went absolutely terrible. So as far as audio wise, but I knew it wasn't my fault. I know how to work my equipment. I've been doing this for a long time. So we get paid from this company a week later. So it was a Saturday. I get paid on Friday. Okay. So I go Friday. We actually get paid in checks. So I go to the location to collect my check. And my check's not there, and I was like, well, "What the hell's going on?"
Right.
So I called the guy that's the owner. He was like, "Hey, you
got a complaint?"
Yeah. He was like, "Hey, did you was there anything going on at that wedding you did last week?" I was like, "Yeah, the wedding was an absolute complete shit show." Yeah. And then he was like, "Well, what happened? Let him know what happened." He was like, "Well, why didn't you do this?" I was like, "Ask your planner."
Right.
I said, your planner should know.
Right.
I told her exactly what to do. She did none of it. And he was like, well, the people were requesting a refund. I said, what that got to do with me?
Right.
I was like, my service is already done. I said, and you're not giving a refund, so you're going to pay me, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. We can't take the day back.
Yeah.
That was my time. That was your time. I can't give you that back.
No.
Yeah. We can't give you a free wedding.
like what?
Well, what do you want us to do about it?
You wanted to keep the brand for yourself.
Like, you can keep the complaint. I mean, you can give that, but as far as the day, we can't give you another one for free.
Facts. And I was like, and what's crazy is he was the owner of the company. I was like, bro, I've been working for you for 6 months, doing at least 3 to 4 weddings a month for 6 months, and you've never heard a complaint or anything out of me. Right. But then this one time, you taking it and you running with it.
Right.
And then you're trying to take my money and run with it too.
Yeah, that's really
no, we're not gonna do that. Yeah. And then what really made me mad is I'm pretty sure that either Sunday or Monday you got a call from that family.
Right.
But I had to come up here looking for my check thinking that it was here, but you ain't tell me nothing. You could have been like, hey, on Monday you could have been like, hey, Preme, I don't know what you did, but that wedding didn't go as planned. And I would have told you the same thing. Sorry, bud, but you're still gonna pay me.
Exactly. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
no. Even if we have complaints and everything, they're definitely not holding the check. Yeah. You might get a little doc. You might, depending on if your reason is valid and everything. Because they're always gonna take our side. That's what the company that you work for should. That's what they always should. Like, let me hear what my DJ got to say. That's unfortunate that happened to you, but let me hear both sides of the story, and then depending on how it goes and everything, if we can meet a medium, whatever. But then all you're gonna get is an apology. Like, that's unfortunate that happened. I'm so sorry. Hopefully we can still keep your business in the future. Whatever, feel free to pass along our card to your next person, and then we'll guarantee that that's gonna be an even better event. But that's all you can get. I can't give you a wedding back. I really can't.
Like what? And I seen how, and this was the lady had sent me the invoice over on accident, and I seen how much they paid. Oh boy, you wasn't giving that back. You was not giving that back.
That's what I'm saying.
So you ain't finna take my money. Yeah. So I was like, bro, you know what I'm saying. So again, my God is an awesome God. so yeah, man. You do one more thing. You said you teach, right?
Yeah. I substitute teach. That has its days in itself and everything.
What grade do you teach, man?
Oh man, It just depends on where the school is and everything.
Okay.
Right now, I'm at the Harmony schools that's around Houston.
I've been seeing they building a lot of them joints, man.
Yeah. The current one that I'm at right now, it just became a new assignment. It's middle school up to high school, so 8th up to 12th grade. These are the oldest ones I've ever worked with, and these kids are huge. There's something in the water right now, so I don't know what the deal is. But other than that, I've worked with like kindergarten through 5th grade, 6th and 7th grade, and everything like that. So 8th through 12th. It's a whole different ball game. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
What is the Harmony schools like? Is that like a
charter schools?
Okay.
Yeah. They're charter schools as well as the schools of science and technology. That's who I'm in a contract with. I work through a company called Teachers Now that I found through LinkedIn or either Indeed. And it doesn't really require too much to become a substitute teacher. You just need to have a degree and the way that people that there's a need for teachers, they'll be willing to take just about anybody to fill up the room and everything, and have somebody babysitting these kids, because teachers are definitely undervalued and underappreciated and everything. Yeah. So, if you're willing to give your time and you have the time Monday through Friday, working from 7:30, 4:30, whatever the case may be, then you can always substitute as long as you have a degree. And that's one thing that's always like tripped me up, because I know people that like went to school for teaching. Like their whole goal in life was to always be a teacher. And they went to school at a 4-year college, and then they might have gotten their masters, PhDs, whatever. I was like, listen, I'm a random Joe off the street, and I can just apply on Indeed and walk in. I can't make as much as you, but they'll ask me, if you do a good job, like you want to get certified, and as soon as you get certified, now you're certified to teach. You went to school for all that time. I was like, and eventually, if I get certified within a year, I can do exactly what you do. And I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know if that's like the nice career choice. If that's exactly what you want to do, I wouldn't go the route that I've seen other people doing it, but it's completely up to you and everything.
No, I've seen them Harmony schools, man. They literally just opened one right down the street down here, man.
That might be the one that I'm at.
I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. I just didn't know if I didn't know like what the school was. I was like, this ain't no regular public school,
right?
And I was like, no, this is for like some geniuses or something. That's what it seemed like.
You would think so, but no. That's the perception that they're trying to put on. But yeah, I'm at the one that's right up there off of Bel Air and everything. So yeah. Each school that I go to, I got my own different stories about the admin and everything. The only thing is that they just wear uniforms. Other than that, I mean, they don't have all the tendencies of a real public school like that we went to, because I was like, I see some of these kids now and how arrogant and cocky that they are or whatever. I was like, golly, if you went to my school that's right up there up the street, I was like, you would get bullied. I was like, man, it's taking everything in me not to be that bully. I was like, just to give these life lessons and take them with you. I'm like, you see that? That's what pain is. That's gravity. All right, this is a physics lesson. I was like, but if you get back up from it, then you keep on going. I was like, I was like, man.
Nah, like school. I realized too, schools out here, like my high school is like y'all middle schools out here.
As far as size?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yo.
Yeah, the Texas size thing that's a real acronym or actual term. What's called? We definitely big on our football fields that look like stadium fields.
Yes.
Yes. We big
like a whole stadium.
Be like, dang, that's a high school field. Be like,
what? No, for real. And what's crazy is I did a turkey drive about 2 years ago at a high school, and I needed some power because I was being a DJ.
Yeah.
And they were like, we were in the back, like near the cafeteria. I walked in this cafeteria, man. It looked like like all of our gyms at my high school, and I was like,
yeah,
yo, what?
Yeah, cafeterias are starting to look like food courts. At the
Dude,
moment. Yeah,
seriously.
Literally.
Seriously. I actually just watched this. There's a new school opening up in the Dallas area. It's like North Dallas.
Yeah.
It was not in Dallas. It's like Plano up north. And this school is like a college campus.
So
like they actually do have a food court. Like they got McDonald's, Sonic, Pizza Hut, all that. I was like, yo, what?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, what? I don't even know. Like, I was literally walking through the cafeteria of this Harmony, and I was doing lunch duty, and I saw kids in line, but I saw so many kids with their own food. Some of them had like to-go boxes or whatever, but that was stuff that they bought from home, and I was like, "What's the cafeteria food?" Like I can't even tell. But I know in the elementary schools that I go to, the cafeteria food is absolutely terrible. It's the worst smelling thing. Industrial food. Prisoners have it good compared to this food, and I'd be like, yo, if y'all saw what they give the kids, oh my god, y'all would pack their lunches for them every day. I'm like, clearly y'all want them to be at these schools, but nah, I be packing my child's lunch every single day. You make sure you don't ever go in one of them lines.
And what's so crazy is like, so I graduated high school in 2017, and during my high school tenure, is Barack was in office, and Michelle had introduced that thing where you had to like eat healthier in school,
right?
And I'm like, wait, they're not doing that shit in Texas? What's going on? Like, we had to have fat-free and sugar-free and all of this other stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like,
crazy.
They get whole food courts. Why are they exempt?
Right. We used to have, what is it called? Vending machines. Like, they used to be a thing
we did
for us.
too.
Yeah.
We
Vending
did too.
machines, like, we used to stack up our little coins and everything. We made sure we was eating all kinds of different unhealthy stuff. Like, we had a snack corner, all this good stuff and everything. So, the fat-free stuff, that was never a thing for us at my school at the time when I was going there. So it's nah.
Yeah, man. I'm like, yo, what's up? Because even in our vending machines, they put fat free and all this other stuff. So man, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be a smart person. So at the time, man, I was working at Sam's Club. I had my own crib and everything in high school. So I was like, all right.
Wow.
So I worked at Sam's Club, and I was like, you know what? All these kids, they want good snacks, but they don't want to pay. I mean, they don't want to pay for the fat free. Yeah. So I'm gonna start buying this stuff in bulk.
Oh yeah,
selling it.
Yeah. You was the snack man. Yeah. We had plenty of those. Oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah, so I'm giving out $5 bags. You know what I'm saying? It's putting on specials. Like I'm like a drug dealer up here. Like I was
literally
going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like me and my girlfriend at the time, man, we was making like $200-$400 a day off these kids. We had the little card reader and everything.
Wow.
For sure. For sure. I'm not playing. If you went to Grandview and you knew me, bro, you knew I had it on me.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we definitely had the snack man and I think this was like my first time of actually experiencing like the New Jack City life when I saw some of these cats had workers for them. I was just like, yo. They was like yeah, I work for Jermaine. I was like what? I was like, he got like 4 different guys in different corners of the school, just like selling the big Texas rolls, cinnamon rolls. It was wild. They had all kinds of different snacks. They had chips and everything. There was definitely Lucas Pops. Those are all kinds of different stuff. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, man, I was on that type of time, bro. And then because the administrators, you really couldn't do it. And the administrators like if you were selling candy or snacks or something like that, it had to go back towards the school because you were doing it in the school. So I had one administrator that was on my side.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because he sold snacks too.
Yeah.
But all his proceeds had to go back towards the school. So I was like, dude, I'm not dumb. So I had we had this thing called the new wing, and my locker was all the way in the new wing. This is like damn near separate from the school. And I was like, I'm not gonna put, because I would go to school with 2 backpacks. One's got my book bag stuff in it, like my school stuff. Yeah. One's got all my snacks. And I'm not dumb enough to put my snacks in my locker.
Right.
I'm gonna put them in somebody else's locker.
Okay.
So they started to catch on to me, man. They was like, yo, you selling snacks? I was like, what? What are you talking about? No.
Oh, wow.
It was like, well, we heard that you was selling this and selling that. I don't care what you heard. I ain't doing nothing. They was like, well, we gonna check your locker. Check it.
Yeah.
So they told me to come down there with them, check the locker, empty.
Oh, wow.
I was like, told you. It was like, well, you come to school with 2 backpacks every day. Yeah, because one of them's ripped. And then I was like, and one of them can't fit everything in it. I'm not finna carry everything.
Right.
And they was like, all right, we're going to keep our eye on you because my last name's Stucky, so they always call me Stucky. They were like, we'll keep our eye on you, Stucky. And I was like, all right, you try it, bro. And I never got caught.
Wow.
Never.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, they
so
was.
You
they
never
was,
had like that retribution moment of Franklin like falling or
but it was crazy. It's like they knew,
right.
They
We
knew
just
I
can't
was
prove
selling.
it. We can't.
Because kids was walking around school with these bags full of chips and Gatorade and Capri Suns and all this other stuff. And so they knew that I was doing it. They just could never catch me. So it's like we know you doing it, but we just ain't got the proof.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
Oh,
that you're doing it. It was like it was a good feeling. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Yeah, that's literally like sacks falling around Tommy and Ghost. Like I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna catch him. That's all he had in his mouth was Ghost. I know who it is.
Yeah, facts.
St. Patrick and Egan.
Yeah. I had the little square reader. I remember. I'm telling you, I'm serious. I had the square reader. It was always in my phone.
That's crazy.
Swiping the cards, bro. I remember this one dude. Unfortunately, he actually in jail, man. But this one dude, he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, bro, I want to get a $5 bag." I was like, "All right, I got you." He gives me his debit card. Swipe it. I said, "Boy, this declined." He said, "Bro, wipe it off." I was like, "All right." Do it again.
Trying to show you.
I was like, boy, you ain't got no money, bro.
Oh
you ain't got no money, you can't have no fun, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, for sure. But that was me back in high school, man. You got any questions for me before we dip out of here, man?
Oh man.
Even any other points you wanted to talk about? If not, it's okay.
Let me think. What's it called? I mean, as far as like music goes, man, that's something I could talk about with anybody and everybody for hours, no matter what it is, man. So definitely on my platforms, social media platforms and everything, I definitely create music content for people, but it's not like me creating any of my own original work or anything. It's like me highlighting stuff and definitely curating playlists and everything for people, making TikToks that's like that. Giving people music content, like good recommendations for anything like that, because it's always music and everything. So again, the fact that you utilize this platform just to highlight different creatives and everything, that's always dope. So I try to do that in the same sense of artists that people don't necessarily know, that might be good for different moves, different situations, whatever the case. This for the late night ride or whatever. This one is music for you to send to your crush, anything like that. Whatever the case may be. But yeah, if it's music or anything, I could talk that for hours. But other than that, man, no, I'm good.
For sure. I did have another question for you. Are you on like a radio station right now?
Yeah.
Okay. What
95.3 Jams. It's like an online digital platform.
Okay.
So you would have to download either the app TuneIn or either Waze or either Zeno or either online radio box. You download either one of those apps and then you just search for 953 Jams, and that's Jams with a Z, and then you catch me on Sundays from 5 to 7.
It's funny. My home radio station is Hot 103 Jams.
See. Yeah. And out here we got 97.9 The Box, and then in Dallas they got 97.9 The Beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. So it's one question that before I get to that, the last question I usually ask everybody. But can you shout out that open mic one more time? That happens every Tuesday?
Yeah, absolutely. Every Tuesday at El Pueblito here in Houston, Texas. I want to say it's on Westheimer, but that could be the wrong road. Fresh Oranges presents open mic nights, Taco Tuesdays. All right, so make sure that y'all come out there every 7 p.m. every single Tuesday. I'm one of the MCs. The host is Lakita Valan, and again, just follow them at the Hangout HTX on IG.
For sure. The reason I asked you to plug that one more time is because I get artists all the time in my DM. Preme, where's the open mics? Go find them.
Got it.
So
yeah.
There you go. There's one for you right there. So the last question I ask every artist, every producer, every DJ, anybody that comes on the show, this question, man, because I'm just really intrigued. You actually from Houston, though, right?
Correct.
Okay. So when Q is big time, and I'm talking Tom Joyner, Steve Harvey Morning Show, big time.
Right.
Do you plan on coming back to Houston, even if you don't leave, or do you plan on doing something for the city that you possibly maybe can't do right now?
I definitely want to come up with scholarships and everything for students that want to go to HBCUs, and if they want to major in the same thing that I did as far as radio and television, I definitely want to provide those opportunities back for those students and everything. So that's definitely something I want to do. As far as the city, Hopefully I could be like Bun, Bun B and everything. I don't necessarily want to come out with a restaurant, but I know I'm always particular about supporting black-owned brands and everything. This is a black-owned brand that I got on right now. Those are the main people that I'm always shouting out. I whisper the big name brands like the Zara's and the H&M's and everything, but I'll shout all the people that the black-owned brands and everything. So I'm definitely always highlighting black-owned businesses. Houston is one of the biggest black-owned markets for black-owned businesses and everything. So in any kind of way, if I can keep on helping those people highlight and shout them out, I can do that right now. But as I get bigger and everything, if I can utilize my platform to help make those people even bigger, then I'll go ahead and continue to do that.
For sure. I like that, man. I really do. I want to do something for my city, even for Houston too as well, because Houston definitely has helped me out. Yeah. I just want to create a big community center for artists.
Nice. Okay. So I like that.
For sure, man. I appreciate you for coming on the show, man. Shout out your IG, everything. Tell everybody where they can find you, listen to you, all of that.
All right, good deal. So, again, everybody, my name is Q Live on the Air. It is Q Live on the Air, and that is the same name on all social media platforms. This is the same Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of that. Q Live on the Air. I don't want to make it complicated by switching it up for you. Same name each and everywhere. And, again, you can tune in to me on Sundays on 95.3 Jams from 5 to 7. So make sure that y'all do that. All right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I appreciate you for coming on the show. Man, y'all stick around. Y'all know the dessert mix up next. Keep it locked. It's the hottest. It's the biggest. Q Live on the Air. DJ Preme. It is Chef Radio.